When you reach a certain level of skill in Brawlhalla, it can get quite confusing. On one hand, your dexterity has begun to be somewhat competent in the face of what in the beginning was absolute damnation.
The GCD6 sending towards the blast zone, there's the ground pound, he's able to clean that one.
On the other hand, your ability to exist in the same realm of these experts is exciting, but it doesn't seem to feel like enough. In spite of this, you and I both know, however invisible they may be, stocks have fallen and games have been stolen from the supposed invincible players.
Has the bow, it's a side sig, and Moonir is the Summer Royale champion!
Now tell me, what differentiates you from a pro player when losing a ranked game? Take a guess, is it the frustration that affects your whole mood when moving forward from that loss? The lack of digesting what spearheaded your defeat? Or maybe the ego that wraps your match with excuses every time you lose? Well, it's all of the above. When a game ends, the difference between you and a pro player is that they detach the outcome from what goes on throughout the match. Yes, you do learn on the fly during the game, but what separates you from winning a match to a pro winning a set is what occurs beyond your dexterous abilities.
On their timer for them to do exactly that.
And since we're only talking about two things that separate you from the best, let me focus on the first one. Mindset.
Having a hard time finding one. This looked very doable for him at the beginning of this. That Sayer mix is so much better.
Is it an FGCD light? It's in the air.
Yes, you've heard it here and there, but I'm going to tell you something you wouldn't expect. Lose. Lose your games. Lose while trying and experience what it feels like to put in your all and in the short term gain nothing. Feel the anger, sadness, and confusion that on autopilot determines how you react, which in turn affects your next match. Learning to take a loss and not taking these games to heart is one of the most essential tools to improvement, clearing the mind of unnecessary thoughts and highlighting what's important. And what exactly is important? To keep it simple, dodge patterns, movement habits, attack conventions, and combo choices. From the biggest options such as your dodging decisions and taking out attacks, to little preferences like when you choose to fast fall and how you approach your opponent. Try your best to understand when and where these options are most prevalent in both you and your opponent. This will help you consciously choose different options every time, mixing up your opponent, making you unpredictable and them foreseeable.
Oh, in the recovery of the Sayer, weapon throw, trades the stocks, Ecto and Blaze destroy.
And remember, if you can't predict your opponent, at the very least, you shouldn't be predicted. Bear in mind, we live in the age where solely improving your neutral is not enough. The best player in the world isn't the best because he's just better at neutral than you. He takes the risks of reading your mind while remaining unreadable.
Misses the recovery on his own, but Marky Moo's still in position. Hits the down air, Marky Moo makes it a trade, and we're going to final stocks.
You could have the best movement and the best combo efficiency in the world, but if you don't stay calm while accurately discerning when to use them, and they see through it, they'll win you over.
Side sig gonna be coming through. AOG, no interruption, no punish. Side sig, is that gonna be enough to take out the stock? Yes, it is. I think this game one is done.
You ever heard of how the first game of every professional match could lead to anyone winning? It's true. Like, unless one is absolutely superior within every skill set, even the most perfect players can fall, at least in the beginning. And what looks like an indicator of strength the most is actually more of a study section for the highest level of competition. When contesting, Brawlhalla is always a race of adaptation and alteration, not inaction.
It's neutral air to GC Inlight, hoping to send over. You saw him go down off stage. There's the Inlight on the main stage. It's charged. Does he find No way! He gets it with the N6 slide charge to steal it away, and West goes into the top 3.
The other thing that separates Brawlhalla pros from the majority is love. Love of the game, love of the competition, and the love to improve ever so slightly just to gain a competitive edge over the rest of the world. Brawlhalla pros, despite their complaints, love this game. If they didn't, they wouldn't compete, they wouldn't criticize, and they wouldn't have spent all that time to become the best in such a niche profession. You probably came here for tips, but I'm sorry to break it to you, this one is something that you can't learn. It comes inherently from unique experiences. It's a bit sad to see the community excessively dog on Brawlhalla for its servers, in-game bugs, and microtransactions, because keep in mind, Brawlhalla runs on decade-old code. Bugs aren't all easy to fix, and the microtransactions, although more predatory than its past, still isn't as scummy as games we know today. Though of course, this doesn't excuse valid statements, it's still important to observe the other side. Brawlhalla is a free, indie, platform fighting live service game, a memory that most of us start with friends having fun, which eventually formed into a drive to become something more. Instead of hating the game's flaws and shaming the devs, bring the game's problems to light and appreciate what the devs had already brought for our enjoyment. We all know that there may be some kind of hierarchy in BMG's job environment, because in the end, it's a business.
Dodge back and gets caught by the active frames, and that's going to be Kaina and Loris proving why they're going to be back-to-back mid-season CEO doubles champions.
So many variables exist. Thus, there may be priorities that span beyond what the developers want to focus on, and there may be errors or inconsistencies that are overall difficult to fix. But despite all this, they still made the game into what it is today. And just like the players, love is what fuels the devs to steer the flame for our ambition.